This would get up, get out, and play tonight. The NBA regular season is less than 2 weeks away. The 71-day break since the end of last season's finals. It's the shortest offseason in the history of the NBA, NHL, MLB, or NFL. Regular season tips December 22nd. There are 5 preseason games tonight. The Knicks, Kentucky Wildcat North in action against Detroit. The Rockets are in Chicago. The highlight of the night, the 2 Western Conference favorites. They square off, the Lakers and the Clippers. The Clippers finished 3.5 behind L.A. in the West, then blew a 3-1 series lead to the Nuggets. They got rid of Doc Rivers, listened to Paul George blame Rivers for his less than spectacular play, then opted to max out on George, giving him an additional $190 million in that max contract. All right, so we're getting paid here. For more on this, let's welcome in.
I love being here. I love the family that I've created in my first year. This is where I want to be. I owe him a trophy. That's what I owe this organization. This is a window that we're trying to capture. And my commitment and my job is to try to bring a title here. It's not putting a gun to Kawhi and you know, telling him he's got to do this or do that. Hopefully it's a mutual bond. You know, we both enjoy playing with one another. So everybody's got their own decisions to make. Hopefully me showing my commitment, being here and wanting to play with him long term sticks out.
Brian Windhorst joins us now. I'm sure you could commit for $190 million to most things. What more can you tell us about the Clippers locking up PG-13 long term? And let's leave guns aside, what it means for Kawhi Leonard's future.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, this is a major commitment, and this was almost a foregone conclusion when the Clippers traded 5 first-round picks, 2 starters, and a couple of pick swaps for Paul George back in 2019. They knew that they had to back that up, that they couldn't afford to let him walk after this season. And so once he was eligible for a contract extension, which he was, this was kind of where they had to go, even if it didn't go perfectly. Now, what does that mean for Kawhi Leonard? Well, Kawhi Leonard's contract does not allow him to sign an extension right now, but the Clippers hope that showing this commitment to Paul George and getting it established will convince Kawhi to do the same next summer. But obviously, we got to see how this season goes first.
A lot of it has to do with the way they perform. Meantime, speaking of performing, Bucks fell short last year. Giannis got 10 days now to decide whether to sign his Supermax deal with Milwaukee. What are the possible ripple effects of that decision?
Boy, as you talk to executives across the league right now, they are all just waiting. They are waiting on what Giannis will do. And the reason that has an implication for James Harden is because some of the teams who might be interested in making a play for Harden, even if they're on the periphery of his preferred list, they're not going to necessarily go all in on a Harden trade or even get serious about talking about it until they know what's going to happen with Giannis. It may be a situation that some of these teams may want to save their assets to see if Giannis might truly be on the market next summer. This is a complicated situation. This is not something we've seen often in the NBA. 2 MVP-type guys with uncertain futures, but the reward is so high, the teams are going to hold back and watch to see how things develop.
Yeah, what we have seen, as you know, in the NBA, are superstars getting together and then either relocating or joining up where they are. That's Brian Windhorst, the 2-time reigning MVP, 1 year left on his contract. Thank you.
A 4-year extension to stay with the Clippers. It's a max extension added on top of his $35 million deal for this season and replaces his player option for the 21-22 season. He's now guaranteed as much as $226 million over the next 5 seasons. I mean, listen, AD now sounds like a bargain. Right, BT? But listen, good for the Clippers. Good for the Clippers in all seriousness. This gets him there long term. But that's a lot of money, man.
And look, it's good money. I don't care what you guys say. 190 is 190. I take it. Why complain? Give me $190 million. See if I complain about it. I ain't doing that. No. Look, AD did a deal the way he wanted. He felt fine with the deal he has. But let's not forget, AD can also opt out after the 4th season. And I think he'll be, 31 years old, something like that? So then if he signs another 4-year deal or a 5-year deal, he can sign for a lot more money than what he's making now. I would say this, Mike Breslin, I don't think those guys will be eating bubble gum at night. I think they
BT,
eat
what do you think
pretty
about that,
good
Mike Bresnahan?
money.
Well, Broderick Turner, I think you may close to that at the LA Times. You've been there for a while. I'm sure you're climbing up on the pay raise poll over there.
Oh, he's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid. He better be anyway. I'm going to be his agent if that's not the case. I'm not surprised by this. All right, the Clippers gave up a lot of draft capital to get Paul George. 5 first-round draft picks. By comparison, Lakers only gave up 3 first-round draft picks to get AD. But the bottom line is, I'm not surprised that he's staying. The Clippers, of course, they're going to offer him the max. He better be better than he was in the bubble. Not such a good run for him there, but he's a good player overall for sure.
You know BT's getting paid. That paper towel rack you were talking about costs $2K.
That's
all right,
silver.
this quote from Paul George via All the Smoke podcast. Matt Barnes and Jax, I'm as locked in as you can be. Listen to Kobe on a daily basis.
Ooh,
I'm on Mother,
like that.
you know what, asses. All the Smoke podcast.
Credit to him. I mean, Kobe, such a motivator. You know, he always met with these guys, even when he was still playing during the offseason. Remember, he took a young Russell Westbrook under his arm, tried to help him out a little bit during the offseason. And that's great stuff from Paul right there.
Listen, Perez, last season, as we go to the Lakers here, they took a page out of the Mamba playbook and led with defense in their run for a championship. 2 key players on that Lakers defense, and you can throw in Rondo because of how he played in the playoffs, so make it 3. JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard no longer with the Lakers. So you add Trez, Gasol, Schroeder, Wes Matthews. Are the Lakers just as strong defensively? I know they're different, but can they be as good? Because that really is what won them the championship.
Yeah.
In those playoff series when they were down 1-0 twice.
Yeah. I mean, you had Dwight running around out there kind of antagonizing Nikola Jokic. You know, you had Danny Green. Didn't really shoot all that well. Didn't score a ton of points. That's not his game. But, you know, it's interesting. I hear what you say when they're different. Not nearly as much rim protection, but obviously you still have Anthony Davis. That's a good start. It's going to come down to Schroeder. How good is he on the perimeter? Scrappy guy, kind of a bulldog, doesn't take a lot of games off. And the same could be said actually for Montrezl Harrell. A tough guy. He's revving in the red line every time he plays. So that's going to be big when a guy like LeBron or AD is not playing that particular night, say a midseason game in Charlotte or something like that. So I think they'll be scrappier. I don't know if they'll have as many block shots and game-changing plays at the basket.
Yeah, much different. BT?
I think they can be equally as good. Number one, because the head coach, Frank Vogel, will demand that they play great defense. And everyone on that team knows they won a title by playing great defense. And let's not forget, Marc Gasol once was the Defensive Player of the Year. So he's also a good defender. Maybe he doesn't block shots at the rim as well as Dwight Howard did and JaVale McGee, but he uses his body well, and he is long at 6'11". And let's not forget, Wesley Matthews is a 3-and-D guy. He's a good defender on the wing players. And a guy like Kyle Kuzma, who keeps working on his defense, will be depended upon. Alex Caruso plays good defense. And Dennis Schroeder, you now have a point guard with speed and quickness to defend all those other fast point guards out there. So I think they can be equally as good, if not better, if they get the system in place and they play basketball the right way.
All right.
In this league and did a lot of good things, but I think with this team, it's something special going. They wanted to compete, of course, on a high level and win titles, but they're having fun as well. So, you know, I think I fit in perfectly. It's an honor for me to play here and try to compete for big things.
I'm just doing anything and everything I can to help compliment these guys, but they already did well. They've already shown and proven that they can win a championship without the pieces that we've added this year. So I'm just coming in looking to do anything I can to compliment that chemistry that these guys already have built. I'm ready to get in there and start creating magic with reigning NBA champions.
This opportunity presented itself. I'm a competitor. I want to win at the highest level. And there's nothing like being wanted by, you know, the best team. I'm definitely excited for the spacing. I'm excited for the style of play. The fit work as far as style of play. And we're here now. I can't wait to get to work.
They act as a family. They're all on the same page. You know, they have very clear vision of what they want and how they want to do it. That's what you know, attracted me to join the team. They're not content. They're not satisfied. You know, they're all fired up, even though it's been a quick turnaround. They all very excited and ready to go. I'm just very, very excited to be part of all that and get to work.
A busy offseason for Rob Pelinka and the world champs. LeBron and AD have a new look supporting cast. We get to see them tomorrow night, Friday. It's going to be great, the preseason opener. We know those guys are playing, so that's exciting. We love the preseason, right? I mean, it's hoops. We don't talk about it that much, Brez. We're always looking to the 22nd and all that, but still, it's a lot of